Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Coffee with Kevin. And I am Kevin. I'm Kevin Martin, a mindset coach with positive effects coaching and hypnosis. And this is my coffee. A little gift from my sister in law yesterday and something for the occasion. And today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do something, or at least talk about something a little different. We're going to talk about, Hallows Eve. We're going to talk about Halloween, which is coming up really soon, which is the going to be the really, the big thing here. The thing here in our country, in the United States, maybe not so much in other countries, although I believe that a lot of other countries, follow Halloween, celebrate Halloween, and call it, most of them call it All Hallows Eve, of course. And, it is just that day. All right, let's take a look at what today happened in history. Today is the 20, I'll have to check, man. It's the 22nd. We had Peter the Great titles himself Emperor of all Russia, 1721. Hey, it's nice you can give yourself a title. Of course, I think he did that through a lot of violence, a lot of conquering. In 1879, Thomas Edison perfects the carbonized cotton filament light bulb. After 1,000 or 10,000 experiments, he finally gets it. Thomas Edison worked tirelessly. And we know Thomas Edison for the light bulb, but he was a great inventor of many other inventions. All right, today music in 1883. New York's original Metropolitan Opera House had its grand opening. And today's sports. In 1978, the New York City Marathon. Great Walls of Norway wins her race. And Bill Rogers, who is a very famous name, wins his third straight title. Bill Rogers is a famous name because I come from Boston. I lived in Boston all my life until last year. Not Boston, outside of Boston, but of course the Boston Marathon is very famous, and Bill Rogers was very famous. So it's a interesting time. But the time of the year is that time of the year we're getting ready. We're getting ready for what? Halloween. That's why I've got this wonderful background with a little black cat. No, it's not my black cat, but the shadow certainly looks like it could be. Now, I want to talk about Halloween, and I've got one quote out there, and I love Vincent Price. Darkness falls across the land. Midnight hour is close at hand. It sounds a little spooky, doesn't it? Yes, yes. And I want to talk about Halloween. We don't have kids really listening to this. However, we do have adults listening to this. And as adults, don't we sometimes, at this time of the year, Halloween, don't we sometimes love this? We love the feeling. We'll go out and buy costumes and walk around with our kids. We'll go out and make costumes for us and our kids. It is, it's nice. It's all about fantasy and this feeling of maybe being someone or somewhere else. Good morning. It's all about, having that ability and that ability to be scared. We like that, don't we? We watch horror movies, maybe not all of us, but we love that feeling that brings up and this in scared and being afraid. It's interesting. Good morning. Two Facebook users. I apologize. I don't see something happened to my interface. I see Facebook user, but I don't see who it is. So I apologize for not knowing who it is. But good morning, whoever you are. And I think my lovely wife Brenda is one of those. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Doesn't that sound cool? Doesn't that sound spooky? It truly, it truly is. Why do we like that? Why do we like that kind of fear? I mean, Vincent Price was really good at that. Joan, friend, good morning. I tell you, I like to be afraid. I'm gonna break my son's confidentiality, or maybe not confidentiality. He never told me not to tell anybody, but I used to bring my son James to these fright nights and little things like that, and he'd actually force me to walk in front as we're going through. And I kind of liked it, but I'd see the ghouls, the people that dress up as the ghouls and everything, and I'd actually kid around with them. And he'd hit me on the shoulder and say, "Don't talk to them, don't talk to them. They'll scare you worse." And he pushed me in the front. Sometimes I just walk fast to get away, and he'd run after me. He said, "Don't, Dad, don't do that, don't do that." And he was truly, truly terrified. He was truly terrified. Matter of fact, one time we were going to go on a little hayride that went through the Witch's Woods. And for the first time in his life, he says, "Dad, you know what? I forgot. I need to go home and take a shower." It's like, whoa, 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 wait a second. You want to go home? Take a shower. Okay. We had the hardest time getting him to get in that shower and wash up, as with most young boys. And anyway, yet he wanted to go back and back and do it again and again. Why did he want to be so scared? Why did I love going there? And I was looking for something that would scare me, but hardly anything would scare me, that hardly at all. And then when it did, when they had that moment where I just got so surprised and so scared, I loved it. Why is that? Why is that? My background's going a little bit. I'm going to get a little closer here. Here we go. Why do we like to be scared? I think we like that emotional response. We like that thing that's every once in a while, that's not the norm that we get. I love differences. Another Facebook user, good morning. And to the new Facebook user, I only see Facebook users, so I don't know who you are. If you want to put your name in there, if you want to come in to be scared, I'm going to share something. I'm going to hide my screen for a moment so you can see what's behind. What's really goofy. We like to have the spooky and the goofy to balance it off. That's why you have all sorts of really frightening costumes, and then you have some funny costumes, and then you have some costumes that are like superheroes and stuff. You got to balance that off. Oh no, it's my son. I don't know which son it is. I'm sure it's Tony. Hi, Tony. How you doing? We like to balance that off, and that's what we do in life. When we have something too harsh, we need to then find something that balances it. That's why laughter is great. It's great for breaking up, the really serious, the really sometimes terrifying moments. You can balance it up. You can bring yourself back out of the whatever terror, whatever trauma, whatever it is, with laughter. You find something funny, and we do that. We do that here. Now I've got some quotes. Hey, Kevin. Awesome. Now this one, the Hey Kevin, I don't know who this is either. Um, I gotta get this fixed because I really like to know who's here. But thank you all for being here. I'm gonna show you a few other quotes here. When witches go riding and black cats are seen, the moon laughs and whispers, "'Tis near Halloween." Yes. It's wonderful. It's a little scary, and it's wonderful with the children, especially. But I like this. I like this as an adult. I love to feel that sense of fear, especially that fear, the fantasy of the ghouls and goblins and all that. And it's just part of us. It's part of us that, you know, we may not like to be afraid in real life, but when we have the fantasy, when we have the TV, when we have the Halloween get ups, we don't mind it. And we'd actually like it if it actually scares us a little. And my last one here, I love Halloween. I love that feeling, the cold air, the spooky dangers lurking around the corner. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? The cold air. Of course, I come from New England. I come from the Boston area. So Halloween sometimes is dress up in coat and gloves. Sometimes it gets really, really cold. But it's a nice change after the summer into the fall when the air is crisp and cool, and it invites those feelings that you can have of just trying to scare people, trying to scare. I used to a couple of Halloweens that I played it where I had a chair in the yard, and I dressed up and stuffed my clothes with all hay and stuff like that to look like a scarecrow sitting in the chair, and I'd stay quiet and I'd stay still until the kids came up. And as long as they weren't tiny, tiny little kids, especially if they were like preteens, young teens, I go, wow, all of a sudden at the right moment. And I'd scare them, but they loved it. That's why we like haunted houses. That's why we like these things. Because we like to get that fear. We like to break up the tension of the day and the tension in our lives with something a little different. And my wish for you is to do that. Break up the tension with something a little different. Whether it is bonfires, yes. Yes, I actually used to see people have a little outdoor fireplace in their driveways, and they'd be sitting there waiting for the kids to come up, and they'd be warming their hands over the fireplace because that's now here in Florida we don't have to do that. Here in Florida it's probably going to be 75 degrees or something like that on Halloween. But up north, it was always fun to feel that chill. We like opposites. We like we like to have those feelings that are opposite, even if it's the hot and cold, and it's the calm and fear. As long as it's just for that moment. We don't want to do a deep dive into fear. We don't want to do a deep dive into anything negative, but just to feel that, just to shock us and give us those feelings that maybe we've had a hard day at work, maybe we just had a hard week and things are going so wrong, and just to sit there and be afraid and be scared for a moment. And again, I'll go back to you don't have to. It doesn't have to be that fear. It can be laughter. It can be lots of things, as long as it can get you in the opposite of what you're feeling. This has been a wonderful, wonderful Halloween moment today. I love this. I love the feeling. I loved reading those quotes because it feels so cool. I love Halloween and love that feeling, the cold air, the spooky dangers lurking around the corner. Yes. One of these days, I'm going to get myself up to Savannah, supposedly the most haunted city in the United States. And supposedly, there's a lot of hauntings from the deaths in the Civil War and things like that. And there's haunted hotels and haunted buildings. So and there's haunted evening walks. Did that in Salem. Now coming from Boston, and a lot of you, um, know about Salem, Massachusetts, and they have the cemeteries where the supposed quote unquote witches are buried. One of them actually has the same last name as me, Martin. I think she might have been the first girl that was put to death. But you can walk through the cemeteries and they have the fog going at your feet. And it's really eerie and they play the eerie music. And it's just a fun feeling. It's just a fun feeling. If you haven't been to Salem in October around Halloween, it's a trip. It's a wonderful, wonderful trip to make. It's fun. It can be scary. It can be just wild. Where people all over the place walking around in costumes that you never would imagine. If you can't make it to Salem, go out. Go out on Halloween and enjoy the costumes. Go outside, and if you're at a house that's giving out candy, go outside, give out the candy, and enjoy the costumes coming to you. All right, this has been Coffee with Kevin again. Another week gone. We're working on 5 years of this with Koffee and Kevin. We're going to have a celebration. We started in December of 2019. It'll be 5 years this December. And I love just sharing moments with you. I love sharing information with you that I think is wonderful. Please, if you like this, please comment and share with someone else. Take care, all. Have a great day. Have a fantastic week. Matter of fact, I know you will. I know you can because it's in your power. You can make it a great day. You can make it a great week. Bye-bye, all.